Welcome to LMU Community TV News. I'm Mousa Barnett. Thanks for joining us. Let's take a look at the stories we have for you today. 4 people who pled guilty in the 2015 murder of Deborah Baker received their final sentencing on Tuesday in Bell County Circuit Court. Chad Allen Love was given a life sentence for 1 count of murder, first-degree burglary, and being a convicted felon in possession of a handgun. Farion Johnson received 25 years in prison for complicity to commit murder. Brenda Sue Miller received a 15-year sentence on an amended charge of facilitation to commit murder and complicity to commit burglary. Charles Gilbert Jr. received a total of 20 years for complicity to commit murder, first-degree burglary, and for being a convicted felon in possession of a handgun. Bell County Commonwealth Attorney Karen Green Blondell persecuted the case for the state. Community members filled Middlesboro City Hall on Tuesday in both opposition and support of a Suboxone clinic being moved to the downtown area. Blue Mountain Medical filed an appeal asking the city to allow them to relocate from their current location to Cumberland Avenue. In August, the Middlesboro City Council passed an ordinance that prevents substance abuse clinics from opening within a 1,000-foot radius of any state licensed operator, regulated school, public park, or playground. The Board of Adjustments and Variances held a nearly 2-long meeting to hear the pros and cons of allowing Blue Mountain Medical Center to relocate downtown. Those in opposition of the clinic voiced concerns about Suboxone being in the downtown area, as well as the potential for increased illegal activity. Supporters of this move cited increased services as a reason to move the clinic downtown. The Variance Board said they would make a decision within the next 60 days regarding the appeal. Lee County was one of the several school divisions in Virginia that recently received a grant for new security equipment. Governor Ralph Northam announced in a press release that the division will receive $100,000 for the 11 schools within their district. The grant will pay for video monitoring systems, metal detectors, classroom locks, and several other security upgrades. The grant is part of a bigger program aimed at increasing security in schools throughout Virginia. This year, the governor awarded $6 million in total for the school security equipment grants. The grants are awarded based on schools most in need of modern security equipment. Since its inception in 2013, the School Security Equipment Grant Program has funded nearly 2,900 new projects and system upgrades to ensure the safety of Virginia students and educators. These grants are a key component of the Commonwealth's comprehensive approach to protecting schools. The grant program was established in 2013 following the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting in Newtown, Connecticut. The 3rd annual Celebrate Appalachia Festival kicks off on Friday with several events lined up throughout the weekend. Local bluegrass band Back Porch Grass will perform on a Friday, followed by a full slate of events on Saturday. This year's event has everything from beekeeping sessions to the Sweet Hour of Prayer Gospel Music Hour to a selection of Appalachian foods and the dining hall buffet. All events are free with the exception of the Appalachian Buffet, which costs $7.50 without an LMU meal plan. For a full visit of this weekend's events, visit the Celebrate Appalachia Facebook page. This past weekend in downtown Middlesboro was the annual Cumberland Mountain Fall Festival. The festival hosted a variety of vendors selling everything from crafts to food, a carnival, and also featured live music all weekend. LMU Community TV's Tyler Rowlett sat down with Friday night's headlining performer, Laid Back Country Picker.
For 91.3 WLMU and LMU Community TV, I'm here with the world-famous Laid Back Country Picker.
I don't know about world famous.
Regionally famous.
There, we'll go with that.
We'll take that.
That sounds good.
How's it going? How's it feel to be in Middlesboro? Welcome to our town, our neck of the woods.
I love it here, man. This is a beautiful town. I've been here a couple times before, and I just find it super interesting. I love it here.
You are also from Eastern Kentucky.
I am. I'm from, it's in Lawrence County, a little town called Louisa, quite a ways north here.
So, somewhat regional to us. So.
Somewhat. I think we all speak the same language here.
For sure. Well, I guess we'll go back to the beginning. How did you get started originally with music? What was your first true love when you said music's something I really feel passionate about and just feel strong about?
Came from my parents. My dad was a bluegrass musician, played banjo and fiddle and guitar and stuff. So I was raised playing music from the time I could hold a guitar. You know, went through my bluegrass phase, listened to Stanley Brothers, a lot of traditional stuff. Got a little bit older, started hanging out with some long-haired guys who listened to Led Zeppelin and some Aerosmith and stuff. So I played some rock and roll. Sometime in the mid-'80s, I got in the country band. I just played a lot of real, what I would call traditional country, like Waylon and Merle and George Jones and stuff like that. So I played it a lot, and the older I've gotten now, for a while I was trying to play to make a living. Now I'm playing more just to satisfy myself, and I really enjoy that 70s country kind of stuff, and that's kind of how I wound up doing this.
And you're a teacher by day.
I am. My day job is I'm a high school teacher in Lawrence County. I teach government economics, and this is my 19th year doing that.
What do your kids think about this, your students?
You know, it's funny. A kid quoted one of my song lyrics to me. I just passed him in the hall yesterday, and he just quoted one of my lyrics and just kept it right on walking. So they have a good time with it.
That's cool. That's cool that they appreciate it.
They do, and you know, I really separate the two quite well. But there'll be some kids that'll wear a shirt like that to school or something, or they'll know the lyrics or whatever. So hey, it's a good thing.
Speaking of the shirt, how important do you think that is to spreading your brand? Because I saw the shirt before I knew who you were, and through investigation, that's what led me to find you. Is that a common thing?
Can I tell you the story of the shirt?
Please do.
Because I wouldn't be sitting here right now doing this interview right now if it wasn't for that shirt. That was I was playing music with a guy named Ron McNerlin, and we were touring across the country, and we were in Texas, and it was pretty close to the 4th of July. And we'd stop off and play this little roadside bar, and it was about, I don't know, 12 o'clock at night, and people were shooting off fireworks, and we'd been on the road for a long time. And my wife took that picture of me, and that's just me in the middle of Texas in the middle of the night, exhausted. So we sat on that picture for years, and we always thought it was a funny picture. So I go into this place maybe about 2 years ago, and they had a sign up that said, we'll put anything on a shirt for $25. And I happened to have that photograph. I'm like, you know what, that would make a funky shirt. So I had them put it on the shirt, didn't really think too much about it. I was playing a show with Tyler Childers a day or two later, and I took the shirt and I had it, and Tyler saw it. It's like, that's the greatest shirt ever. You got to make some copies. So I made 20 copies of the shirt, and they just sold like crazy. So all of a sudden, Tyler wore the shirt, which meant that people want to wear that shirt because Tyler made it popular.
I mean, that's how I found it.
Yeah, and so people who were going to Tyler shows would order these shirts off me because they were kind of like you're in the hip crowd if you do that. So I thought, well, you know, this shirt's selling so good, I should probably have a product to go with it. So I just kept the character going and wrote some songs, put out a CD, and here I am.
Super cool.
The shirt made the event happen.
Well, speaking of Tyler Childers and the shirt, that's actually where I bought the shirt. It wasn't the night that you played, but it was at his rhyming room with Margot Price. And I have to ask, what does it feel like to step out on the rhyming when the lights go out and it's just to know you're on sacred ground?
I'm going to tell you that if you're a musician, especially country music, that's as far as you go, in my opinion. Now, I will tell you, we went down earlier in the day to sound check. And when we're sound checking, Sturgill Simpson's on the show too.
Yeah.
So I wound up playing through Sturgill's amp, and Sturgill and I are standing there talking. I said, Sturgill, is it cool if I use this amp? He's like, yeah, sure. So the whole time I'm sound checking, Sturgill's standing right behind me, and I love Sturgill.
Yeah.
So I'm a nervous wreck because Sturgill's there, and you're in the rhyming, and it's daytime, and you know where you are, and you're like, you know, I thought I don't deserve to be here. The sound check was hard. It was really hard, and I was really aware of where I was. But now when it came showtime, the lights go down, you do your thing. It wasn't that bad. Initial sound check, it was amazing.
So it was more overwhelming during the sound check.
Oh, absolutely. It was for me.
So that was a fun 3-night run. Like I said, I caught night 2, and it just felt there's something in the air about it.
Was Jack White there that night?
Yeah, that was the night I was there.
It was just amazing.
It felt cool to see people really to show that like the big mix of ages and just people from different backgrounds show up for that. I don't want to say traditional style country, but like that's what I feel like him and you and even Margot kind of have like. It doesn't, you know, there's no...
It's a real pure thing.
Yeah.
I think. And I got to tell you, the night I played, was it Friday night that I played?
Yeah, because I'm so Saturday night. Yeah.
So Friday, I'm watching Tyler. I done my little thing, and I'm off in the wings watching. And it may have been 4 songs in. Tyler just gets a standing ovation. Everyone at the rhyming stands up 4 songs in to give Tyler a standing ovation. The hands, every hair on my body stood up, and it's standing up on me right now. I've never seen anything like that.
How do you feel, I know you and a lot of those musicians are frequenters of the Burl in Lexington.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
How important do you think that like, venues like that, specifically that one, are to kind of spread the Kentucky music scene and give people like, you know, like you and Local Honeys are another one that we've had down here, you know, another part of the...
John R. Miller.
Yeah, exactly. All, you know, tons of Kentucky musicians. It's like they found a more centralized place to play. How important do you think places like that are?
It's super important, and I've tried to keep adjusting I've got this golden triangle in my mind, and it runs from Lexington to Huntington, West Virginia, and I always say down to Whitesburg, but I think I'm going to expand it down here to you guys, what you're doing in Middlesbrough.
We'll gladly take
it. And it's just this triangle of places that really support that kind of music. They give artists, you know, because we're not playing cover songs, and we're playing things that are original and things you don't know. And a lot of scenes don't welcome that, but the Burl does, the B Club in Huntington does, Willie's does, Middlesbrough does, with your 11 amp series down here, the people you have down here.
It's great to see people that probably never would have came out otherwise come out and watch music and leave and have a new appreciation for, like you said, original songs that they, you know, they sit back and you can see almost the wheels turning in their head.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Whenever John contacted me to play here, you know, I see a lot of towns who have these type festivals where the whole community comes out, and usually it's more established artists, or it's artists that are playing cover songs that everyone knows. And what you guys done here, you got Sonora May, you got John Miller, and you got myself. You know, we're part of this new movement, whatever you want to call it, and hats off to Middlesboro for taking a chance and having that kind of entertainment.
When you were back, you know, you said you were playing in cover bands, you know, in your younger days. What would you go back now and tell your younger self? Would you want to show them, you know, this, you know, wide open scene and just kind of tell yourself, like, look at this, like, this is, you know.
You know, I think if I could tell my younger self something, it would have been to stick to your guns more and do what you want to do. Because I was really worried when you're playing for bar owners and you're doing covers and someone's not happy with the song or whatever, I would concern myself with that a lot. And looking back now, I think, you know, do what you want to do, follow your heart, and play your original songs, and it'll work out better in the long run.
I feel like that's really important, because a ton of musicians, you know, being a musician myself, like, it's hard, you know, like you said, you play cover songs, and then you can, when the crowd doesn't react to it that well, you get self-conscious about your own choices. But then I think it is important, you know, you just need to do what you want to do.
You do need to. Two of my big influences when I was coming up was the Georgia Satellites and the Kentucky Headhunters. Because, you know, I'm a country guy, but I like some rock and roll, and both those bands did that very well. So I met the Georgia Satellites early on, and I was talking to the guitar player, and I said, man, how do you guys get away with this? You roll into these clubs and play super loud, and you play all this music. And Rick Richards, he was telling me, he said, you know, we tell the club owner to come in and say, this is what we do, so if that's what you want, we'll do it. And I never really had the nerve to start doing that. But now I do, you know, with Laid-Back Country Picker. Like whenever John contacted me, the player, I said, you know, I'm not really playing the songs people know. And he's like, oh, that's great, come on in. So just be upfront about what you do and believe in yourself. That's really it.
It's a good motto to give the musician right there.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, you don't want to fool anyone. You don't want to tell someone you're something you're not, and they show up and disappoint them. So you let them know right up front, this is what it is.
Very cool. Also, very interesting music videos, very awesome, very unique music videos.
Thank you.
You got to check that out if you haven't. And Laid-Back, thank you so much for doing this.
Hey, thanks for having me on, and thanks for what you're doing in music here in Eastern Kentucky.
Come back and see us anytime.
Be glad to.
Now let's take a look at your community calendar of events coming up over the next couple of weeks. There will be a meeting at 5:30 p.m. on October 11th to discuss bringing the Kentucky State Senior Games to Middlesboro. The meeting will be held at the Bell County Tourism Commission located at 2215 West Cumberland Avenue. This meeting is open to the public. Indian Creek Baptist Church will have its monthly singing at 6 p.m. on October 14th, featuring the Beeson family of Maynardville, Tennessee, and others. Everyone is welcome. That was your community calendar. We're now moving on to your LMU Community TV News 5-day weather forecast. The next few days are looking to be cold and full of rain. To start your Thursday morning off, the high will be 67 with a 95% chance of rain. As the day progresses, the temperature will decrease to 63 and the chance of rain will decrease to 5% as well. Looking at your 3-day planner, Friday will be sunny with a high of 60 degrees and the chance of rain will be 10%. Saturday will be partly cloudy with a 10% chance of rain and a high of 60. Moving to your 5-day, Sunday is expected to have a 50% chance of showers with a high of 61 degrees, and Monday will have a 60% chance of showers with a high of 55. Now is a quick recap of your 5-day forecast, but stay with us. As coming up after the break, Brandon Burke will be bringing you your sports report right here on LMU Community TV News.
What do we know about learning? It takes place beyond the pages of a book. We learn by exploring, by trying new things, by connecting, by sharing. We learn by taking chances and dreaming big. At Lincoln Memorial University, learning is beyond the books. It's everywhere.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic. So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Bro? Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot Top soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit savethefood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shields, and I'm a physician and the medical director at LMU Medical Clinics. This is a brief announcement about keeping LMU and you healthy during the upcoming flu season. Influenza, or flu for short, is a virus that causes fever, body aches, and upper respiratory symptoms like cough, runny nose, and sore throat. It is transmitted through the air and can even be spread on objects touched by someone who has the flu. The virus spreads easily from person to person and is most active from October through March. There are 3 things you can do to prevent becoming ill with the flu. First, get vaccinated. The most effective way of preventing the flu is to get the flu vaccine every year. The vaccine does not give you the flu or make you sick. The vaccine may not be 100% effective, however, it does offer significant protection and lessen the symptoms should you get the flu. The CDC recommends everyone 6 months and older be vaccinated before the flu season begins. Number 2, wash your hands. Stop the spread of germs and protect yourself with frequent hand washing with soap or alcohol-based hand sanitizer. And third, if you are sick, stay home. Should you become ill with flu-like symptoms of fever, sore throat, cough, limit your contact with others. Schedule an appointment as soon as possible with LMU Medical Clinic or your healthcare provider. There are antivirals that may be indicated if started within 48 hours of symptoms. Stay home until you are fever-free for 24 hours without over-the-counter medications like Motrin or Tylenol. I'm Dr. Shields, and this has been a brief announcement about keeping LMU and you healthy during the upcoming flu season.
Welcome back. On another historic night for the Lincoln Memorial Women's Volleyball program, the Lady Rail Splitters overcame a sluggish start to finish strong against the Carson-Newman Eagles in South Atlantic Conference play Tuesday evening, staying superb at home for a 3-1 victory. Returning to the Mary Mars Gym after splitting the previous weekend series with Coker and Wingate, with the Bulldogs giving LMU their only home loss of 2018 to date, Lincoln Memorial bounced back from a 25-17 opening set loss to lead their in-state rival the rest of the way through 25-19, 25-22, and 25-16, making the Blue and Gray 10-6 overall, along with a 9-1 record when playing in Harrogate. Among the many impressive stat lines for the Lady Rail Splitters on Tuesday was the trio of Lindsay Nartkirk, Riley Storms, and Emma Flowers. Nartkirk collecting 15 kills, while Storms and Flowers each added 13, Storms also posting 12 digs. Sophomore Alicia Kessler chipped in 7 kills to aid LMU's 53 in total, a 147 hitting percentage, willing Lincoln Memorial to the W. Freshman Emily Walter landed her 9th double-double of the season against the Eagles on 41 assists next to 14 digs, although the star of the show was once again senior libero Erica Whitaker, who has etched herself in the school record books yet again. The Kingston Springs, Tennessee product, who earlier this season broke the program record for most career digs, became the only player in LMU history to hit a grand total of 2,000. That count still going up, with 10 regular season matches still on the radar. Whitaker's 20th dig out of 24 on Tuesday allowed her to cross another huge milestone, part of an LMU defense that held Carson-Newman to just 40 kills on a 171 hitting clip, moving to 11-5 in their last 16 meetings with the Eagles, a series history that the Lady Rail Splitters have begun to take control of. The 4-set triumph over the Eagles pushes Lincoln Memorial to 4th place in the latest SAC standings as the team moves into their final 4 home matches and 6 road affairs of the year. Back in action this weekend for back-to-back road battles in North Carolina, taking on Queens Friday evening before facing Catawba the following afternoon. And fresh off of consecutive shutout victories in South Atlantic Conference outings, the LMU men's soccer squad stayed at home on Wednesday afternoon, wrapping up their final non-conference date of 2018 when the Nighthawks of North Georgia visited Harrogate for a 3:30 p.m. opening kickoff. Only 5 more matches remain on the Railsplitters' schedule following Wednesday's tune-up with UNG, all in SAC play. And for head coach Haley Deanna and Lincoln Memorial, they look to build on the momentum of 2 straight wins at Mars Hill and versus Wingate, in which the combined final scores read 5-0. Specifically in their last meeting against the Bulldogs over the weekend, ending a 17-day home drought that was well worth the wait. The Railsplitters handled Wingate, defeating their conference foe for the first time since 2011, outshooting the visitors 19-12, seeing a pair of goals from Alan Brandau and Felipe de Souza, helped by a Wingate own goal sandwiched in between. For his individual efforts in the shutting down the Bulldogs last Saturday, senior goalkeeper Caleb Cothran was awarded as the AstroTurf SAC Defensive Player of the Week, coming just moments after Lady Railsplitter Itzel Ballesteros gained the same recognition on the offensive side. Cothran has silenced 3 out of the 4 league opponents he has faced in 2018, posting another clean sheet against Wingate, and with a 3-1-1 record against opposing conference schools, Lincoln Memorial comfortably sits in 3rd place in the SAC standings. Wednesday afternoon wasn't about improving LMU's conference reputation, however. It was simply more about gaining another check in the win column. The Railsplitters at 5-2-2 as a whole, entering their matchup with North Georgia. To find out if Lincoln Memorial did just that and kept on rolling to pick up their 3rd win in a row, you can visit www.lmurailsplitters.com. 4 tournaments have gone by for the LMU men's bowling team in the middle of their 3rd season of competition, and it's been an ideal start for the Railsplitters, cementing their 4th straight top 3 finish over the weekend at the Midwest Collegiate held in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. Day 2 of the 48-hour format continues to serve Lincoln Memorial well as head coach Joseph Slowinski's group skyrocketed 5 spots up from an 8th place standing on Saturday, reaching a grand total of 9,771 pins, averaging 221 over 16 Baker matches. Surpassing 4th place Weber by a slim margin of 7 pins thanks to their consistent Baker play, the Railsplitters posted 9 pins more than 5th place Robert Morris, who won the last tournament LMU featured in the weekend before in West Lafayette, Indiana. Freshman Jorge Rodriguez represented Lincoln Memorial on the all-tournament team for the 2nd event in a row, while the Railsplitters as a team only trailed 2nd place St. Ambrose by 23 pins, McKendree University emerging as the eventual 1st place champion. Ranking 3rd at the Racers Classic, winning the program's 1st ever tournament title at the Railsplitter Baker, and now with 2 more 3rd place run-throughs at the Boilermaker Classic and the Midwest Collegiate, LMU brings their momentum to Beaver Creek, Ohio in their 5th straight weekend event, taking part in the Orange and Black Classic this Saturday and Sunday. And with the start of the collegiate basketball season only 23 days away, the Lincoln Memorial Men's Hoops Club continues to gain preseason hype and recognition as just 2 weeks after LMU was ranked 4th in the nation by the Street and Smith's early poll, along with an All-American nod from upcoming senior Cornelius Taylor, the Railsplitters received identical praise on Tuesday from the Division II Bulletin. Ranked 4th once again, with Taylor tabbed as a Super 16 selection, head coach Josh Schertz's impending 11th season on the LMU sideline will be an interesting one to say the least, with an unusual scenario of having more questions than answers. After reaching a 32-2 season a year ago, which included a 20-0 South Atlantic Conference record en route to a 6th consecutive SAC regular season title and a 4th league tournament crown, a large chunk of the Railsplitters' recent success has since graduated, losing 4 starters from 2017, most notably leading scorer Trayvon Shaw, multiple-time All-SAC honoree Dorian Pinson, and National Player of the Year Emmanuel Terry. Cornelius Taylor will be far and away the most experienced Railsplitter in his senior season, as the Claxton, Georgia native averaged 14 points and 4 assists per contest a year ago, shooting 45% from the field, along with a 38% stat from beyond the arc. Passing the 20-point threshold 6 times for a spot on the all-conference 2nd team unit, Taylor will serve as a mentor to the young core that will be thrusted into the spotlight a November 2nd exhibition game against Auburn, preceding the official season opener the following weekend versus Clayton State on a neutral court in Aiken, South Carolina. For more details on Lincoln Memorial's 2nd 4th place ranking in the preseason and for all things LMU athletics related in this busy fall schedule, you can head over to, once more, LMURailsplitters.com. And only 3 more dates are left on the 2018 high school football regular season around the region. And after a crazy Week 8 last Friday with more intriguing games to come this weekend, let's take an early look at what's going down on October the 12th in the tri-state area under the lights. Beginning with the state of Tennessee, both the Cumberland Gap Panthers and the Claiborne Bulldogs venture away from home in Week 9. Claiborne visiting Chucky Doak after resting last Friday with a 1-6 record, and the Gap traveling to Cosby, hoping to build off of last week's blowout over Jellicoe in win number 4 on the year. The Campbell County Cougars picked up some steam in their last meeting against Karnes, although this weekend's contest was circled on the calendar a long time ago, hitting the road to battle 6-1 Fulton, searching for a signature win. The Grizzlies of Granger High have been playing at an elite level as of late and will hope to gain their 4th victory in a row on Friday by hosting Sullivan Central, the second of 3 straight home meetings for GHS. After getting pounded by Cumberland Gap in the 3rd straight game without reaching the end zone, the Blue Devils of Jellicoe will look to turn the page at home against the Cloudland Highlanders, while the Indians of Hancock County aim for their 4th W of 2018 and will try to shake the cobwebs off of last week's one-sided loss to Thomas Walker visiting Unaka. And the Union County Patriots enter their late bye week on the season, currently at 4-4 following back-to-back losses. Moving on to the Bluegrass State, it's the big one for Bell County as the 7-0 Bobcats travel to 6-1 Corbin in a pivotal rivalry battle with the Redhounds, which could likely be seen again in the postseason. Meanwhile, the Middlesboro Yellow Jackets will try to stop the bleeding and end a 5-game losing slide, staying at home off their bye week to face off with Danville, and the Pineville Mountain Lions will try to get out of a funk of their own, hoping to stop a 3-game losing streak in the penultimate game of the season against 5-2 Williamsburg at home. And lastly, in Virginia, the Pioneers of Thomas Walker look to keep it rolling and grab their 3rd win in a row when the Twin Valley Panthers come calling to Ewing, and the Lehigh Generals return to 5-Star Stadium on Friday, hosting the Gate City Blue Devils after consecutive blowout losses at the hands of Ridgeview and Union. Next Monday, LMU Community TV Sports will provide all the final scores from these matchups as the high school football regular season begins to wind down, only to pick up again with even more intensity once the playoffs arrive. And that is all for sports in the middle of the week, but stay tuned as more LMU Community TV news is headed your way right after this.
So we were walking to school. I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart.
want cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't have another bad day.
I really hope I don't have another bad day at school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Thanks for watching LMU Community TV News. I'm Alison Barnett, and have a great evening.